afraid about some tickets that he had, and he wasn't thinking about me coming. So when I told him all I wanted was school supplies, he gave us a truckload of school supplies. And that's how our relationship started.
Okay.
But to be a little bit more serious about it, we were giving away school supplies, and I saw that kids need a lot more than that. We teach with the Alive and Free program. We teach violence as a disease.
Yes.
I mean, people are doing a lot of marching. I'm for and against the marching. I'm for and against what police have done. But I am totally all about, all of this is centered around the disease of violence. Our community is now being plagued by violence, whether it's black on brown violence, brown on brown violence, black on black violence. We're seeing homicides increasing in every community that's around. It used to just be in the hood. It used to just be on Bankhead. But now it has spread to Buckhead, and it's spreading all over because it's a mentality. I was telling Scott when we were walking up, we teach a mythology where kids are infected with social HIV. You've heard of HIV, right? But that's not the HIV that we teach these kids. We teach them they're infected with social HIV, and I call it hood disease. But social HIV is really hood. Listen to this now. It's hood infectious virus.
Oh.
Okay. And when hood infectious virus is not attended to, it turns to full-blown AIDS, AIDS, addiction to incarceration and the death syndrome. So now these kids, we can't go in and change. I was telling Scott, we can change a lot of things about these kids' life, but what we cannot change, that's the most important factor of them being infected with hood disease, is growing up in an unhealthy family environment. I can't do anything about that. I can show them how to eliminate the destructive language, talking down and cursing at them all the time. I can show them how to eliminate guns. You ain't got to carry them. I can show them how to eliminate alcohol. I can show them how to get rid of the I don't give a damn type attitude. I can show them how to really know the true meaning of friendship. I can show them how to not have the negative view of women. But I can't do anything about that home environment that they have. We're seeing this hood, it's infecting communities all over. We're seeing it not only in the homes, we're seeing it in the schools, in the streets, and it's everywhere. 52% of the inmates in prison right now are between the ages of 18 and 24.
Wow.
That's scary.
That
That's
is
scary.
very sad.
Gang banging and a lot of poverty,
Yeah.
no jobs, it's hot outside, and they're marching. I mean, I understand the marching, but let's have some action. And what we have here with this Alive and Free program, if you don't believe me, go to YouTube, put in Alive and Free Seattle, because I don't get a lot of time to talk intensively about this, because this problem with violence didn't happen overnight. And it's not going to get fixed. I mean, I think people are marching looking for a quick fix, a microwavable. We're in a society, young people now look for microwavable. They want things to happen just like that. And when you march, this is not going to change anything just like that. I'm not saying it's not going to change anything, but it's not going to change anything overnight. This didn't come into an overnight.
So how old are these, how young do you start with this? Like, how old are these kids who come to the program?
Scott and I were talking about, he asked me the exact same question. We started out dealing with kids between the ages of 12 and 18, but now we've dropped the ages down to 8 years old. We've had to start dealing with, we're in competition with the gangs.
Right.
They're recruiting at a young age, and so am I. I'm recruiting young street soldiers. Street soldiers are individuals who are committed to eliminating violence out of his or her life by using the risk factors, getting the risk factors out, and adopting new rules of living. So I'm trying to recruit a little group of kids, and the gangbangers on the other side and it's who's more attractive.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and the thing about what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these kids an opportunity to stay alive and free.
Well, how do you make that more attractive? How do you make healing more attractive?
Well, the way we make it more attractive is we let the kids serve as peer educators. A lot of the kids that we work with do not read on the proper levels. We check them. They come into the program, and I'm a former law enforcement officer, but I've also spent a lot of years in music and entertainment business. I know what they like. I know the hook. All right, so I use music, sports, and entertainment celebrities, which there are a lot of here in Atlanta, to get the kids involved in the program, and I trick them. You know, I do the bait and switch. I
like that.
I do
That's
the
what the
baby
enemy
switch.
does.
The enemy tricks them, so
I'm
why can't I
saying.
trick them?
Right.
So what I do is I use the guys that they listen to and that they look at as their heroes, because their heroes are a lot different from mine. You know, my heroes were Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Gandhi and these guys who really were about. Their heroes are 2 Chainz. Nothing against that, but they have a different outlook on life, and we're trying to get these kids use their particular heroes to bring them in. We do an overnight rites of passage where we use these guys to get the kids in. We got food, we got games, and all. That's to trick them. But before they leave, they get some intensive workshops. But you just can't give them what I call a drive-by. And you go out and have an overnight rites of passage and all the media coverage in the world, and everybody says that they're going to change kids' lives, and boom, my kids don't see you again.
Right.
See, there has to be consistency, because that's what their experiences initially in their lives is, a lack of consistency.
Well, yeah, they need someone to invest in them.
That's right.
That
That's
takes,
right. You said it.
Yeah.
That almost gave me chill bumps when you said that, because that's what's missing in these kids' lives is what my dad used to call lap time. Somebody's got to know, they got to know that you give a damn.
I love that when you said that on her wall. They need lap time.
They need
I was
lap
like,
time.
Yes.
That you these kids, and I don't take credit for being such a great mentor. I'm nobody special, but I understand what they need, and these kids are not bad. They're infected.
I love that, because, and you know what, you said earlier on that you can't always get to the families, but the thing that moved me the most watching that video on YouTube was the woman whose child came home.
And that affected the family.
Yes, and now she's a facilitator.
And see, that's what this does. Let me tell you, and I'm going to give you saw that, and let me give you a flip side of how that can happen. I was working with some young kids over at Forest Hills Academy, which is an alternative school, and the young man had really gotten involved in the program. He started adopting the rules to live by and started taking stuff out of his life. He was eliminating certain risk factors. And he came to me one day and said, Officer Griggs, he said, I'm sorry, but this is probably going to be my last day at the program. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? He's one of the kids who was really getting into it. And he was like, well, you know, my mom is saying that I can't come back. And I had to pull him to the side and have a one-on-one. And I came to find out that he wanted to change. His mom probably wanted him to change also.
But she didn't want to change.
Well, not only did she not want to change, she was receiving $400 to $500 a weekend from him selling drugs. So to get him to ask him to stop bringing in money to that household, see, it's a two-edged sword. And this young man, see, that's what people, and we got to not only teach this to the kids. I want to be able to teach this to the police officer, because imagine a police officer that does not grow up in this environment. He doesn't know how to deal with those kids that are culturally not from the particular culture. If you didn't grow up in that kind of environment, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like when that kid, because kids that come from that environment, they even walk differently. All right, they talk differently. So to you, that might be aggression. To me, that's just a young boy from the hood acting out. So if you're a police officer, you don't know that. So these officers need to be trained. I'm a former officer. And I have been treated the worst in the world by another officer that looked just like me, that had black skin. He wasn't a white cop. He was another black cop that treated me that way. Cops need to be taught also diversity training. They don't know how to deal. Sometimes people that get that badge, it's just a license to kill and beat you down. If you've got that kind of mentality, it doesn't matter whether you're black or white. If you're people that are in the military have met guys who couldn't wait. Let's go shoot them. Let's go kill them.
Yeah.
And if you got that kind of mentality, that's not what that job is about.
Right.
That's not what that's about.
Well, Andrea was with DeKalb County Police Department